What's going on, everybody? I usually don't talk about these types of topics on public platforms, but if you are black, I'm just going to say it like that. If you are black, you identify with being African American, and you vote Democrat in these next elections, not only these next elections, but the next local elections that you have, and you stay in the city where you're continually watching this slap in the face of resources being offered to people that don't look like you, that don't even belong here legally, after you've watched your grandparents, great-grandparents, your uncles, your aunts, your mothers, your fathers fight for resources here, and they've told you continually over and over again that we don't have it for you. We don't have it for you. We don't have it for you. DJ, we don't have it. We don't have it for you. They scratch it and bring it back and replay it every 4 years. They come knocking on your doorstep. They come flooding your text message box talking about you need to vote Democrat. We are the party for you. You even got ignoramuses sitting in office talking about you ain't black if you don't vote Democrat. And that same ignoramus and these same people in these cities, especially the ones that look like you, look at Brandon Johnson, look at Mayor Adams, look at Lori Lightfoot. These people are bringing people into your area illegally and offering them resources that don't belong to them. First of all, they've taken them from the taxpayer and given it straight to them. But really, it's a form of money laundering when you look at it, because if you follow where all of the money goes, oh yeah, that's right, you can't, because they won't give you all the information. I digress. But they take all of this money and they give it to people that don't look like you, all while closing schools in your community, all while taking things that belong to your children, closing parks and placing people in those areas that don't belong there. How long will you continue to vote for the same thing? I'm sick of seeing it. I'm personally not frustrated of my own self. I don't vote. I don't live in those cities, and I don't vote for those people. I wouldn't vote for those people. I don't care how many messages Brandon Johnson stands at the podium and changes his natural speech into that political. You hear, you know it when you hear, I have a 15-point initiative where we're going to tackle crime in this area. But you never answer questions as to why you closing 100 schools here and 50 schools there. You never answer those questions. They never answer those questions, and they never will. And so I think that a lot of that is unfortunate. I think a lot of that is just, it's ignorance. They're playing on your ignorance and on your emotion. If you have relatives that told you, you always vote Democrat, what has that gotten you? Democratic rule has been over Chicago for the last 100 years. You got to go back to the 18-something and early 19-somethings before you got the last Republican mayor. And I'm not saying go out and vote Republican, but I'm saying you probably should vote something other than Democrat. That's what I'm saying. Because they're slapping you right in the face. The money that they tell you they don't have for the resources, they're showing you they have it because they can rip it from the taxpayer to give it to somebody that don't even legally belong here. How long? How long, black man, black woman? How long? How long? I'm going to be on this soapbox for the entirety of the election. It's time to hold these people feet to the fire, man. And it's time for you to wake up and realize that you got to stop voting for people that look like you just because they look like you. Brandon Johnson right now, he's darker than I am. He's darker than half my relatives. You vote for him because he looks like you. Yeah, we got a brother in office. We got a brother in office. That's what y'all say. Then he stands at the podium month after month after month after month and offers 50 million here, 70 million there. They spent $300 million on people that don't even look like Americans. Not even black people, Americans. Everybody knows what this country has done to us. We all know it. 100 years ago, under the same democratic rule, they were redlining free slaves, right? Free slaves into different areas. As even as recently in Chicago as the 60s, there were landlords who were pressured to not rent to people of color. This all happened under Democratic rule. So the Democrats play the Republican as the boogeyman, as the bad guy. And like I said, I'm not a Republican. I don't even vote half the time, honestly, because I don't see anybody representing us. At what point are you going to continue to sit and realize that this is slapping you in the face? This right here is the voter base that they are replacing you with. You've served your purpose, Negro. We tired of you complaining and being frustrated that we closing hundreds of schools and offering teachers more money, but we closing hundreds of schools, putting more people back on the street for the school to prison pipeline, and setting rules that make crime run rampant in your neighborhoods. As Leroy, Pookie, and Ray Ray and them is shooting up the club and shooting up the school and being released on bail, breaking into your houses and being released on bail. Ain't no resources in the neighborhood. Oh, we put the guns in the neighborhood. We put the crack in the neighborhood. We put the drugs in the neighborhood. We took the fathers away from the neighborhood, all under Democratic rule. And you vote for it year after year thinking something's going to change. And if none of that was a slap in the face, we could say all of this is conspiracy. Oh, it's some other thing working in the background, some group of people, some races or some other types of politicians from the other side of the aisle who want to see you down. We can say all of that. But if that wasn't enough, they are telling you plainly right now, we are slapping you in the face. These resources we are taking from you and you don't even really have. Some of y'all make just a little bit above whatever line they set. You barely eating. Your kids are barely eating. You a single mother, a single father. You working 2 jobs to get by. You could barely eat. You making just a little bit above what they say is a threshold, so you don't qualify for a program that they say there's not enough money for to go around, and then they dip well beyond that and spend that money on people that don't look like you. If that ain't the slap in the face that you need to wake up, you were completely lost. We got to stop it. Look at this. This is crazy. They doing this right in front of your face. It's sad. It's sad. Don't vote Democrat in the next election. None of these next elections. I don't care what kind of media spin they put on it. Do not vote Democrat. Don't do it. Don't fall for the Kool-Aid.